Hi, I'm Brad.
And I'm Lucas.
Thank you for watching our very first episode.
Today we'll be going over coilovers on my 01 Escort ZX2.
This is the project car we're going to be working on for this episode. This is Lucas's 2001 Escort ZX2. He bought some custom coilovers for it. We're going to kind of show you how those work, and then we're going to install them, show you how it looks. A little rundown. Alright, so we've got my trusty friend Lucas here. He's going to go ahead and explain to us the specific type of coilovers that he has for his car. They aren't actual coilovers, they're a little bit modified, so he's going to go into that a little bit.
Alrighty, so what I've got here are some ground control coilovers. Now, essentially these are not real coilovers, as these are custom. They have a coilover sleeve and the coilover springs. So all it did is we cut the spring perches off of stock struts. You put the coilover sleeves on top of that, your little coil perch and such like that. Put it all back together and you got yourself some little custom coilovers. I got them pretty cheaply, essentially, from a good old friend Doug on Team ZX2. And yeah, good benefits of these, I can adjust my ride height, and if I ever felt like it, I can swap out these springs for new ones, stiffer spring rates and different little things like that. Now I've got here, these are brand new KYB XL G series struts, bump stops, mount, all that. These are the only things that are used, but it's no worry, got good trust in them.
And how much are you planning on loading your car with those?
Currently,
to begin with,
if I remember right, so even at max height, it should drop 1 inch. I have it about another inch lower than that, so I'm thinking about 2 inches. So I think it's gonna look pretty good.
All right, well, let's get these suckers on and test them all.
Alrighty.
All right, for every job that you do, you're gonna need a basic assortment of tools. Now, these aren't gonna be the exact same tools that you're gonna need based on your application, but for the most part, you're gonna need the general same amount of tools. Okay. Here we've just got your basic hand wrenches, all assortments, SAE and metric, which Ford especially loves to do on these cars. They like to mix it up a little bit. Old school torque wrench. I like these old ones compared to the new ones that you dial in. They're just a lot simpler to use, and they get you a real good leverage when you're trying to work. Impact wrench to make those bolts nice and tight and get those really tough ones unstuck. Pry bar, sledgehammer, which is really good because those old parts, especially if your car is over 10 years or so, you're going to need a sledgehammer to get those old rusty parts off. Over here we've got an assortment of jacks as well. This is my old jack that I used for years and years, and it served me great, but I lowered my car about a week and a half ago, and ever since then I could not get this jack underneath my car. So I went ahead and picked up this nice low profile garage jack. So now I have an actual jack for my garage. Fits under the car great, and we're definitely going to need it once we get Lucas's car up in the air. You're also going to need a set of these jack stands. Now, I've learned from personal experience not to leave your car up on a pump jack. They can always fail. I had it one car come down on me one time, and it was a horrible experience. As you can see, I'm still here today, but after you get your car jacked up, you want to throw these underneath it and leave it on there. That way you know you're safe. Alright, this is how high the car sits in the rear. Before lowering it, we're sitting at about, what was that, 11 inches?
About 11 and a half, and then up at the front bumper, it's about 10 inches flat. Rear, it's probably got about 11 and a half, 12.
Alright, we'll compare that after.
All we need to take apart all these struts and such is our 14 deep well. We got just 4 up on the top, both sides. And then down here at the bottom, all we need is 17 wrench, 17 ratchet and such like that. Similar to the back, the only difference in the back we got back here is to access the rear, it's back in here. You can see right down there. Except for it's only 2. And then same thing back here, we've just got the 2 back here. We'll have to take a little brake line off, shouldn't hopefully be too hard. And then we'll get our new goodies going. We'll be set.
Sounds good.
will, for comparison. And this is where one of my big advantages come in from. That spring perch.
Christ.
This did come with a spring perch, but however, as I previously stated at the beginning, it's cut to allow a little bit better tire clearance and to allow me to slam the car even though I don't plan to do that. Yeah, good size comparison.
Yeah, I'll say. So you can see here where he was talking, if you pull it down, this is where the original perch used to be welded, was cut off, and these sleeves were put on instead. Now, when it comes to replacing your front and rear struts and shocks, you always want to make sure that you do it in pairs. It doesn't matter whether you start with the front of the car or with the back of the car, you're just going to want to do them at the same time. We learned this on my car when we did it. I tried to do one side while the other side was down on the ground. It made it really tough to get it in. So make sure you've got the front of the car and the back of the car up whenever you're working on it. It just makes things go a lot easier. Now, when you go to put your new struts back in, make sure you do the top bolts first. But as you can see here, they're not tightened down all the way. We've got a little bit of play where we can move it around. Because when we get down to here, you're going to want to be able to move it around a little bit to get these bolts to line up. After you've got the bolts on the bottom in nice and tight, and you can go back up to the top, just tighten those nice and secure, and you're good to go. Yeah, I think the front ones need a little bit of tightening, but the back ones are pretty neutral.
Oh God.
I take lug nuts very seriously. I had a a bad experience once.
We'll just leave it at that.
All right, and that is one happy Escort.
Before the ending, let's do a little comparison to the beginning. When the front bumper at the bottom was at a whopping 10 inches. We are now sitting about 2.5 inches lower, right around 8, a little under 8.
This is a test audio clip to make sure that my microphone is working, because that was my biggest flaw with every last video I made, so I forget to turn the microphone on.
Well, let's hope you're working there, buddy. hear this pretty good?
Really fucking tight. Holy shit.
We just fucking
I
commentate on
fucking
it.
hate myself right now. Okay, take fucking 9. Now that I have the fucking microphone turned on.
We're good to go, I think, now.
Okay.
Straight face, guys.
Alright. Hi, I'm Brad.
And I'm Lucas.
Thank you for...
Here we go again, guys. Don't worry. We'll get there. We'll get there one day.
Oh,
Number
okay.
10.
10.